कोई झर के हैं सर गए रहे हैं इधर गए
Can we start the session? Hello. Can we start the session?
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Anmol,
ma'am.
you can start.
Okay, fine now. Good evening, everyone. My name is Anmol Kaur. We heartily welcome you all to online international workshop on research methodology and applied by statistics using SPSS. This international workshop is jointly conducted by Rajiv Gandhi Knight College of Arts and Commerce, Mumbai, in association with ScoreAchievers.com. Rajiv Gandhi Knight College of Arts and Commerce is run under by DPSS. We are having our we are having here our respected founder and president of DPSS, Principal Bala Sahib Mahatre, and our young and honorable CEO, Dr. Sindesh Mahatre. DPSS is located in Mumbai. Hello, I am audible to you.
Yes, Anmol, you are audible to each and every time. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm updating the slides from my side.
Okay.
Yes.
As I said, DPSS is located in Mumbai, in India. DPSS is founded in 2nd October 1979. DPSS has a main slogan, Education is for Knowledge, Science and Culture. DPSS is having 5 degree colleges, 1 law college, 1 polytechnic, 8 junior colleges, 15 secondary schools, 14 primary schools, 14 pre-primary schools, 2 study centers of National Institute of Open Schooling, Noida, and 9 computer education centers. DPSs have built a trusted name in the field of education. This international workshop is jointly conducted by Rajiv Gandhi Knight College of Arts and Commerce. Here we have our honorable organizers, uh, that is Dr. Supra Mahatre and Professor Savita Bodke. About Supra Mahatre, she is having MA, MA, B.Ed, PhD degree holder. She is a principal of Rajiv Gandhi Knight College of Arts and Commerce, Mumbai. She is the educationalist, she is the researcher, she is social activist, she is author, and she is executive editor of Sanshodhan Chetna, that is Educational Research Journal. And our second honorable organizer, that is Professor Savita Bodke. She is MBA Finance, MCom Accountancy, MA Economics, DFM, DBM, DTM, DBF, CPCM, GDCA, and NCFM, and NSIMS degree holder. She is the founder of ScoreAchievers.com. She is the founder of Value Investments. She is the author of 28 books of finance, accountancy, and economics. She is the corporate trainer. She is also a finance professor associated with top most management institutions in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, and Pune. Now, We are going to start today's sessions. Miss Savita Bhodke, can you please continue?
Yeah, thank you, Anmol. Thanks a
You're
lot
welcome.
for this. Uh, yeah, good evening, all of you. Now we are going to start our last day, that is the last day of SPSS also, and the last day of our international workshop also. Over to the Dr. Sakaram Mule. So you can start with the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, just give me a 1 minute. I will start my spaces. I hope that you must have learned some basics of spaces. You must have practiced. Yesterday we talked about some basic application for testing of hypothesis. They are very basic, very basic applications we talked. Today we are going to talk about two more applications which are very frequent and people are very much interested in these two options. The first one which we are going to talk is about correlation and regression, and second we'll talk about factor analysis. So, in my 1 hour session, whatever I would like, whatever possible, I will cover. So let me share my screen. Yes, yesterday we talked about a few things. That is how we can test and test a significance of difference. Today we are going to talk about what we can do if we have correlation and regression. Okay, that means in what situation we will use correlation and regression. Uh, I can give you one example. The example is very simple. It's very simple, and the example is talking about very simple things. Say, for example, it's suppose I'm talking about marks scored by a student or any respondent, and it's suppose if I want to associate it with a number of hours spent for that particular coursework. So I will have here precisely I should know that which is my dependent variable and which is my independent variable. So dependent variable and independent variables are very essential when we are discussing correlation and regression. As long as correlation is concerned, we don't have to bother about what is dependent and what is independent. But when we are talking about regression, then we are very much concerned. We have concern of regression. That is what is in regression. We have a concern of dependent variable and independent variable. So what is dependent variable and independent variable? Dependent variable. So identification, the very basic criteria for identification of dependent variable and independent variable is very much basic, that the values of the variable changes with respect to change in the values of other variable. We call that variable as a dependent variable, and against what the values are changing, so that we call it as independent variable. So I would like to add one thing in this particular discussion, that an independent variable identified for some hypothesis may be a dependent variable for some other hypothesis. So that is, it is basically based on what hypothesis you are framing. Say for example, I am saying that I am framing my null hypothesis, and null hypothesis is there is, I'm writing it as, there is no significance of association. Association. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So there is no significance of association between marks scored and number of hours spent on course. Okay. And in against we write it as simple alternate. We are talking about, as we talk about simple alternate, there is a significance of association. Okay. Now identification is very simple. That identification. Now this is simple correlation hypothesis. I can write another hypothesis. Let us say that H0 I am writing. Let us understand that in what situation we should use correlation and in what situation we should use regression. So marks scored by student doesn't not let us say do not depend on number of hours spent on course. Okay, this is one, and alternate will be it is all scored by student do depend on, let me make it simple, do depend on number of hours spent on uh, course. It looks to be similar, that what exactly what is the difference between these two hypotheses. One is talking about simple correlation, other is talking about cause-effect relationship. Now in the first thing, we did not have to identify which one is dependent, which one is independent. So if we have simple data on correlation, that if suppose if I have a data on data for analysis, and if suppose I have a data in number of marks and number of hours spent, then I can simply do correlation. So let me generate my data, and I'm generating it as a random data. Okay, and between, let me say that 2 4 hours maximum study the student is doing. So we have 25 observations. Yesterday we have done that. So let us copy and paste it here. Okay, I will define my variable. So it is number of hours. This is, let us mention, give it in label number of hours, and is scale variable. Okay. Now this is scale variable, and suppose there is, if it is a scale variable, then definitely for scale variable we talk about identification, correlation analysis. If you are doing a correlation analysis, and then for correlation analysis, uh, we require to find out whether my variable is scale in nature or not. Yesterday I have given one example that that table was talking about what kind of analysis you are looking at, whether your data is scale in nature or not. So if it is scale in nature, first identification whether the data is scale in nature. So if it is scale in nature, then I test for normality, and once I confirm normality, then I will choose a correlation test. The name of the correlation test is Pearson's correlation coefficient. Okay, so I will take you to SPSS. What SPSS can give us. So let us say that I will go for SPSS analysis, analyze, correlate, then bivariate, and let us say that marks obtained by student after. So I will choose one variable, another is number of hours paid, and here only you get all the options, that is correlation coefficient, Pearson correlation coefficient. Then you can see that Kendall, Stauby, and Spearman. Now, two of these correlations you are aware of. That is, first is Pearson's correlation, and second is Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. So Pearson is parametric test, and Spearman's rank is non-parametric. We categorize it under non-parametric test. That means we first of all rank the data, and then on the basis of rank we calculate Spearman's rank correlation. There is another correlation coefficient which is available with SPSS, Kendall-Stauby, which is considered to be a better correlation coefficient, or more powerful correlation coefficient for identifying correlation between two variables than that of Spearman's. Okay. Now, one thing we should note that if suppose I have a scale data, and if my data is not satisfying the condition of normality, then I can use Kendall-Stauby and Spearman's rank correlation for scale data also. Okay, but basically if my data set is of ordinary nature, that means I have a ranking, I have strongly disagree, strongly agree, or I have some Likert scale data, then in that situation I should not use Pearson rank correlation, sorry, Pearson's product moment correlation, but we have to rely on Kendall-Stauby and Spearman's rank correlation. So now it is simple data we are assuming under the assumption that we are talking about correlation which is for scale data and satisfying the condition of normality. So only we have to choose Pearson correlation coefficient. So this is Pearson correlation coefficient. We want two-tailed test of significance. We'll choose two-tailed because we are talking about correlation that is which is not confirmed. Now, what is one-tailed? One-tailed means yesterday I talked about. I think in these 7 days, someone must have taken a session on what is one-tailed, two-tailed. So I will just briefly tell you that in case of correlation, what will be one-tailed and two-tailed. In two-tailed test, if we are not sure about what type of relationship, whether positive or negative, then we go for two-tailed test. Otherwise, suppose if I'm sure that the correlation will be positive and correlation will be negative, that there will be a positive correlation or indirection correlation, or if I know that I'm expecting that correlation is negative, that in opposite direction the correlation exists and it is in opposite direction. If I'm framing that kind of hypothesis, in that situation we go for one-tailed test. Okay. So if you see the hypothesis which we have framed, that there is no significance of association between marks scored and number of hours spent on course, and then there is significance of association. So we are not sure that what kind of correlation exists between these two variables. So it may be positive, it may be negative. That I may get a score that I suppose the student is spending more number of hours. That should not have to happen. If the student is studying more, so it is likely to get more marks. But there may be a chance that I may get negative correlation even. So that is what we are talking is reality and what does their data says is that is different. The data should talk the same thing what the reality is there. But sometimes there are problems with data, so we may get some different correlations, and then we need to study them differently. Okay, so options में जाके देखते हैं. Options में it is means and standard deviation if you want to find out means and standard deviation, and if you want to find out cross product deviations and covariances. Okay, so then click. Otherwise, we will not have to do anything. Okay, style is this is newly introduced uh, option, but right now we are not going to talk about anything that is formatting is applied in the order top down. Lateral conditional formatting may undo or change previously. So let it be a default formatting. We don't want to change the formatting. Okay, and confidence interval. Here we have to find out that estimate confidence interval of bivariate correlation parameter. So that is if you want to go in statistics, we are being taught with the values confidence interval. So there are two types of testing procedures. One is on the basis of putting a hypothesis and testing it. Other testing procedure is finding out confidence interval and finding out whether the mean falls in that particular range or not. If mean falls in that particular range, then we say that we do not reject null hypothesis, and if it is beyond that confidence interval, then we reject null hypothesis. So that is a different procedure of testing. So that is a procedure of testing of hypothesis based on confidence interval. So here we are not talking about 95% or 5%. So that doesn't that is not essential for me. I will use that term only at the end when I will get a p-value, because I can test that p-value against 5% level of significance or 1% level of significance. Okay, so I don't want to find out confidence interval for this. So I will just put everything as it is. No changes. None of the things I'm just adding extra. Whatever being provided by SPSS, I'm going with that option. So SPSS has that advantage that it gives you a minimum required. आपको ऑटोमेटिकली टिक करके आ जाता है कि दिस इज द मिनिमम requirement for any data. At the below that flag significant correlation. So if suppose if you are talking about say for example you have matrix for analysis. Let us say that I will take it as before marks also for analysis. Then I will get a matrix, and in that matrix, if suppose matrix is of a lot of variables, say for example 10-20 variables. In that situation, this flag significant correlation is very essential. We'll talk about what exactly these do. Okay, it doesn't provide any graph at the beginning, at the outset. You can say that you need to generate a graph for this. Okay, so this one is talking about a correlation. You can see that I will copy this, and then we can interpret here. Okay, let us interpret. Okay, आप copy करो इसको ठीक से. Copy. You have to be very careful while copying it and paste it, so that table will get pasted here. Okay. Significant quoted is nothing but it is p-value. P-value. Okay. So all the variables you will get it on rows as well as column. Okay. Correlation of after marks against after marks will be 1. That is very sure. N stands for number of observation, and this is Pearson correlation. Okay. And after scores and before scores, that student, after scores, those who have studied more, talking about negative correlation and no significance. Okay, this p-value has to be less than that of 0.05. If it is not less than that of 0.05, then we say that there is no correlation. There is no significant correlation. So as your data set increases, let us say that if suppose I have instead of 25 observations, and if you have more number of observations in your data set, then definitely you will find that your scores may show very small correlation, will also be significant correlation. So I just doubled my data set, and let us see what happens to correlation, because I just wanted to explain that what will happen to significance with the same correlation value? Correlation value will not change if I increase the number of observations, but my significance will change. That's why sample size calculation is very essential. Here the p-value is 0.389, and as I doubled my data for 50 observations, the p-value has decreased to 0.210. So if you have more number of observations, then the same correlation value may lead to significance. That means strong conclusion you will require enough sample size. Talking about a negative correlation, you can see that it is minus 0.180, and there is a correlation of up to and number of hours. I just don't want this एक इसमें से आप हटा दो, थोड़ा कम करेंगे तो आपका कंफ्यूजन दूर हो जाएगा. We just want a correlation against number of hours. So this is my table, and my table says that I have this is negative correlation with after. Number of hours we don't require, number of hours against number of hours, so it is absolutely 1. I just want to have only 2 correlations. The first one is Pearson correlation against after scores, and second is before scores. Both of them negative value. So just I want to explain the procedure of in SPSS. So we'll again go back to the procedure. The procedure says that I should go to analyze, then correlation, and bivariate correlation. So this is talking about bivariate correlation and the simple procedure. Okay. Now another correlation is that if suppose my data is ordinal in nature. Ordinal in nature means I have taken a data for, say for example, satisfaction level for criteria 1, criteria 2, criteria 3, and criteria 4. Okay, this is basically ordinal type data, and if I want to find out a correlation between them, then I will go for non-parametric, because non-parametric correlation is expected as my data is ordinary in nature. So remove your data, earlier data, and take your criteria 1, criteria 2, satisfaction level data, criteria 1 to 4. Okay. Two-tailed again and flag significant. Rest all you keep as it is. So this one is Kendall-Stauby and Spearman. Both you can generate. If suppose sometimes what happens that Kendall-Stauby sometimes some research papers or some journals they will ask you to go for Spearman's rank correlation only. So in that situation, you will require to give Spearman's rank correlation, but it is better to have Spearman's rank correlation and Kendall-Stauby just to have a check. Okay. So if suppose if now this is the table correlation matrix I have generated. Now you can find that I am getting a lot of values here. How you will identify that which one is significant? So that flag significant is nothing but this is a flag significant. That means it has flagged that this value of correlation is significant. This value of correlation is significant. Okay, and there may be if any value. So it is flag significance का मतलब होता है you can read these values, that is correlation is significant at 5% level of significance. So this is not, we can say that mild correlation, moderate correlation, and very strict correlation. So mild that means that a very small correlation between the variables, then it will flag significant, but significant and with a single star. Okay, then if it is some strong correlation and with a double star, indicates that it is significance level is at 0.01. There's another significance level that we call it as 0.001 level, and at 0.001 you will get 3 star in your data set. Now what does it mean? That when we're talking about CRT2, that is criteria 2 and criteria 3, this particular correlation, it says that by correlation, that means the value correlation coefficient Kendall-Stauby value is 0.528, and on the basis of p value, that is significance value 0.003, we can conclude that there is a significant positive correlation between criteria 2 and criteria 3. It indicates that if I change the values, if I am able to change the satisfaction of criteria 2, definitely the criteria 3 satisfaction will change. That means criteria 3 and criteria 2, they may be depending on each other. They are interrelated. Okay, so I don't know which one of these is dependent and which one is independent. Similarly, we can think of this particular value, and it says that it is the p value is correlation value. Kendall's tau p value is 0.424 and p value is 0.016, indicating that there is a significant positive correlation between criteria 2 and criteria 4. Okay, let us check what does this particular value says. Spearman's rank correlation says. So you can see that Spearman's rank correlation value in this particular case, and in both the cases, if you see, both of them are significant. But if you observe the values of Kendall's tau p and Spearman's rank, so you will come to know that Kendall tau p values are always lesser than that of Spearman's rank correlation value. We consider that if suppose Kendall's tau p is significant, that means this is the correlation between these two variables is expected to be it's expected to be significant. So that's why we consider Kendall's tau p to be more powerful, because Kendall's tau p is on the basis of Spearman's. There are some adjustment we are doing in calculation, and Kendall's tau p is calculated. So it is always considered, if you want to be very strict on your analysis, then in that situation you will find that you will prefer to go for Kendall's tau p rather than going for your Spearman's rank correlation. So this is how we calculate correlation. So Spearman's rank and Kendall's tau p. Okay. So let us think of values. What we can do for regression, when we can have a regression. Now we are saying that this one is number of pass is independent variables and marks obtained, or difference is dependent variable. So I identify, I want to find out, I am writing my hypothesis. So as already we have written that marks code or change in marks, we can write change in marks. Okay, so what is that variable it is talking about? It is talking about the variable of change in marks is nothing but this is the variable identification. Variable identification means the difference of before minus is dependent variable, and what about number of hours spent? Number of hours spent will be independent variable, or post will be independent variable. Will be independent variable. Okay. So for regression we require that, because for regression analysis, so difference is my dependent variable and number of hours will be independent variable. Let us see how what we can have. Okay, what we can think of. Just give me. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Am I audible? Yeah. Okay, so if suppose I want to find out regression, then procedure is analyze, go to regression. There are n number of regressions. Now you may be interested in all regressions, but for all these regressions we will require to have regression theory at the base. Otherwise everything will go, you will not be able to understand all the regressions. So today we are just going to talk about simple bivariate linear regression model. Okay, that is y is equals to a plus bx. Let me write the model. Model is y equals to a plus b x. Okay, single variable, single dependent properties, single dependent, single dependent, and single independent. That is one. Okay. Straight line, relation, linear relationship we are talking about. Okay. A linear relationship, that means your data is expected to, when plotted, then we are expecting that data will be, is going to tell you, or is going to give you a linear relationship between x and y. Okay. So how I can do that? I can, let us say that, let us think of chart also. So the first basic analysis which we do for correlation or regression is that we first of all try to identify or establish the relationship between variables. Okay. So we have scatter and dot plot. So scatter plot is used. Drag this plot. Okay. I will repeat the procedure again. I think some noise is there. Okay. Let us do the procedure of graph again. Chart builder. Okay, it is again. I will do it again. Graph, then chart builder. Then okay.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, here difference is not correct. 23 minus 20 equal to given 73. So the value.
That is. No, yesterday we made a changes. Okay, don't bother.
Okay.
Okay. Yesterday. Okay, yesterday. If you remember, yesterday you was not there. I hope.
Okay. No, I was there, sir. So difference
So
is.
I do understand. Okay, I will change this variable. Okay.
Okay.
Because I am using this data from since last 3 days. One more thing, you will believe in calculation of software, that software do not do any mistake unless otherwise we ask him to do. Okay. So let me calculate new variable. I will calculate. So let us not get into this calculation problems. Let us say that before or after, suppose we are expecting after marks minus before marks. So I will calculate one more variable. Let us say that new difference 1. So it is okay for me. So let us see that we have a new variable now. Okay, difference variable, and please check whether the difference is right or not. Okay, I hope this is right. Huh? So will not enter in this particular software, do not do any mistake while doing calculation. So we have to rely on calculation, unless otherwise we write something or we do some manipulations. Okay, so yesterday, I think in yesterday session I did manipulation just to make you understand the significant value. Okay, so analyze. I want to explain you scatter plot. So for scatter plot, we have again, see the procedure: graph, chart builder, and before you use this dialog, measurement level should be set properly for each variable. That is very essential. So let us check the measurement level for each variable. So your last variable which you have generated is difference, and it is a scale. So we have given a measurement level. Then click on scatter plot and drag it. Okay. So on x-axis you will put your dependent variable. So what is your dependent variable? On x-axis you put your independent variable. So that is a number of hours. I am putting it as, and let us say that before marks I will put it on y-axis. So rest all, we don't have to set color for this color. Let the computer choose its own color. If you want to do any changes or any color combination change, we can do it later on. Okay, so let us generate a chart, and you find that we are getting a chart like this. Okay, so if you want to fit a line across this, okay, so you will double click on a chart, okay, and there's an option called as add fit line at total. So we'll add that. So automatically the line will be like this, and it will come with y is equals to equation. So that this can also be used to generate a regression equation. So if you could generate a regression equation, or if you want to find out that from scatter plot only, if you want to generate a regression equation, then you can do this. Okay. Now one more correlation we will see, that this is we have taken the correlation against number of hours, but if you look at the correlation of before and after marks, that cancel this and go for graph chart builder, then okay, and instead of number of hours, if suppose I am putting before marks, if suppose student has a good marks before, and if suppose student has what is the marks of the student afterwards, so we will get a scatter plot. Okay, and now this scatter plot I can do changes. If I want to fit a trend line, I have to double click on chart, double click, and you will get a chart editor window. Then click on this add fit line, and you will find that it is showing a positive correlation. So positive correlation, if suppose if I want, you can see that there is properties option A, and you will get a different lines, that lowest line, then you can apply it. Okay, apply. If you apply lowest fit, if you want to go for lowest fit, you can go for. If you want to go for quadratic fit, then you can go for quadratic. If you want to go for cubic fit, and then you can go for cubic fit. So how will you understand that I should have to go for cubic feet, quadratic feet, and lowest feet? And you will understand this on the basis of scatter plot of this particular data set. We have very small number of observations. That's why your scatter plot, we are not getting good scatter plot. Okay, so if you have dense observations, say suppose if I will open, I will just open one data set. Uh, Yesterday we had, day before yesterday we had that data set, and okay, so you will close this. आप इसे close करो, automatically you will find that you are getting this option here. Okay, and this one is sample English, and then open. Okay, then open another data set. Sample data set यहाँ पे practice के लिए आपके पास है. Okay, so you can use that data. It has how many observations? It has 100 observations. So this is patient age is there, and so this is one more data set. You can again you can think of another data you can open. You can see that there is one more data set, and that is will go for open. Okay, जिनको practice करना है इसमें, they can see this. This is file, and I will open new data. Let us say, so they can open new data, and if you open your spaces on the top only, you will find that sample files are available for practice. So you can use those sample files for practice. Where are these sample files? These are the sample files. Okay, so you will get n number of observations, or n number of files here. So there are different files. You can choose any one of these. These many files it has, and let us choose. So this is demographic data. So you can get a lot of data sets. Okay. So we'll go back to our analysis. So what does this analysis tells me? This is positive correlation, and you can using chart builder, you can have a regression here. So this is the quickest way of generating regression graph and R square and R value. So if you could do graph from chart builder, then you will get all this, and this is possible in Excel also. But what is not possible in Excel is this complete regression analysis. So what is the procedure is analyze, regression, then linear, and now let us assume that my dependent is after marks, that my independent be number of hours, okay, and what statistics we will require. We don't have to आप अगर इसको जेंडर वाइज वगैरह कुछ करना चाहते हो तो then selection variable and you can select variable value equal to 1 only for male if you want to do, but I don't want to do anything. I want it to be generated for all data irrespective of male and female, so you can do that here. So you can have more number of variables here, that is multiple correlation is also possible, that I want to find out that if number of hours and marks scored by the student before, then has any impact. So you can have multiple correlation here. So multiple correlation means we have more than one independent variable. Let us say that plus b2 and x2. So this is the multiple correlation, multiple regression model in which only one dependent and only and more than one independent variable. So that is also possible in SPSS. On a same click, you will get multiple as well as linear regression analysis. So this is our webinar data. Let us see analyze, regression, linear, and I just want to have a single independent variable. Then I clicked on number of hours as an independent, and dependent is after marks. Statistics, what statistics you would like to generate? You are having n number of statistics available here, but basically we are interested in estimates. That is, we want to estimate the values of A and B. So estimate we will require. A model fit data we will require. R squared change is the value we should ask for. These are the two values. Descriptive, if you want, you can ask. Otherwise, you must have calculated descriptive for some other purpose, so you need not have to go for descriptive here. And case-wise diagnostic and all other options you need not have to talk about, unless otherwise you are very good in all these data understanding or result understanding. So these three things are very essential for any regression model to say that whether the regression model is appropriate or not. Okay. Now let us say that plots. This yesterday also I talked about, if you want to talk about a plot, normal plot, if you want to go, you can go for, but we don't want to do this because we have assumed that it is normally distributed, and these are the other plots which are which statisticians ask for the purpose of finding out the fit of the particular model, because this is a prediction model which you are talking about. There's an option called as option, okay, and here you will require a use probability of f 0.05 and removal is 0.10. So this is a stepping method criteria. That means you can have, now you can think of what is that stepping method. Now here we can have enter, stepwise, remove, backward and forward. Okay, enter, stepwise, remove, backward and forward. So enter means you will enter all variables, all independent variables. If you go for stepwise, then stepwise one by one it will ask, it will allow one by one variables to enter, and other variables will be considered for the next step. So first variable, second variable. Anybody saying something?
No, sir. By mistake, only one participant was unmuted.
Okay. Not a problem. Okay. So stepwise, and then this is remove, backward and forward. So these are the methods, and in options, the whatever probability is being given for f, that is for stepwise calculation, and this is use f value instead of f value. If you want to do it on f value, you can do it, or you can use probability value for calculation. That will also do. Include constant in equation. So this we always expect our regression equation to have a constant, okay, and exclude cases listwise. So that is okay for me. I will continue with these options. There's an option to be called as save. So predicted value, if you want to save predicted value. So once you have estimated your values of a and b, then what we do, we substitute those value in equation, and then we substitute the values of independent variable, and we generate the values of independent variable. So we call that values as a predicted value. So if you want to save SPSS to save these particular values, you can do that. Distances you can save. Residuals, if you want to, residuals means y minus y cap, the estimated value, the difference between the actual value and estimated value. That is also you can save, and this can be used for further calculation. But today we are not going for all these calculations or discussion of all these factors. That's why we will not save anything. Okay, this is नेक्स्ट एंड प्रीवियस करके आपका एक ऑप्शन है। तो आपने अगर ब्लॉक बना दिया कि आपके 4 इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल पहले ब्लॉक में, देन 3 इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल दूसरे ब्लॉक में, तो ऑटोमेटिकली द फर्स्ट एनालिसिस फॉर फर्स्ट ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, देन सेकंड एनालिसिस फॉर सेकंड ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. So that is possible by allowing some variables into let us say that before वाला एक ब्लॉक है, प्रीवियस ब्लॉक में नंबर ऑफ बार्स है. ओके, so I have done 2 blocks, one block 1 and block 2. Okay, so now I don't want to go for this block analysis. We'll keep ourselves at simple level, and we'll generate result. Okay, so what does my result summary tells me? Let us say that my result summary, I'll just copy and paste it here. So I have a model summary. Model summary is very essential for me. Of this model summary, what we normally focus on is R square change. This is adjusted R square is very essential value for us. Then this is F value, that is significant value, significant change, F value. So these are the two values. If this value should be less than 0.05, and this should be close to 1, adjusted R square. So if it is close to 1.00, then we say that it is assumed to be a very good fit. Okay, so adjusted R square is talking about the expected change in dependent variable with respect to change in the independent variable. So we normally we call it as R square, and R square is the coefficient of determination. If there is if any statistician is there, he know that what is the meaning of coefficient of determination, or you must be given in the theory that what is coefficient of determination while discussing regression analysis. Now this is model summary, and this value should be less than 0.05. Here for model summary we have a hypothesis that model is good, model is not good fit, and model is good fit. So if the p value is less than 0.05, then we reject null hypothesis that model is not good fit. Okay, and we accept the alternate as model is good fit. So this value has to be less than 0.05. And this ANOVA value is also talking about the same value we have here. Okay, so this value and this value, either you choose this value or you talk on the basis of this value, one and the same. Okay, it is talking about model fit. Okay, and what about coefficients? Then we have coefficients. So we talk about normally we calculate unstandardized coefficient in manual calculation. So if you know that manually, if you calculate regression analysis, then you calculate these values. Okay, so that means if you want to check it manually, then you should check these values rather than checking these another standardized coefficient values. Instead of this, we check this value. Here there is no constant, and this has a constant. Okay, so unstandardized beta coefficient, so constant plus number of R's, and number of R's का आपका value है -4.071. It is a negative. Corresponding values which we should look is this particular. Okay, constant के p values को हम ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं देते. We look at the significant value of independent variable. So if this value is less than 0.05, then we say that it is a significant contributor, otherwise it is not significant contributor. This is all about your regression analysis, and if you want to do practice on this, you can use any of this data set for practice, or you can have your own data set for practice. Okay, I will jump to the next topic because I have very little time to talk about. And let us say that I have 20 variables and I have taken a Likert scale data, and we are seeing that it is and I want to reduce my data. Okay, so there's a option in SPSS which is talking about let us see that analyze and dimension reduction. Okay, most of the time people do not understand that why we should go for factor analysis, because someone tells them that we should do a factor analysis, so they do a factor analysis. Factor analysis is actually a procedure in which we try to reduce the size of number of variables. Say for example, if suppose I have taken a data on some 30-40 variables, there's a concept which we call it as a latent variable, and actually actual variables, many original variables. So concept of latent variable, say for example, I am saying that stress. Okay, now if suppose I want to measure a stress on fit line chart. Okay, let me explain this. Somebody is saying that I should explain fit line chart, so let me explain it again. I will go to graphs, then chart builder. Please look at graph, chart builder. Okay, this you will click OK, and just remove these variables. So what you don't have is scatter plot पे click करो, यहाँ पे scatter plot आप select करो. These are the different scatter plot. Okay, I just talked about very simple scatter plot, two-dimensional scatter plot. So it has x-axis and y-axis. So you will put your before marks. Let us say that before marks is your independent variables. So on x-axis, after marks is your dependent variable. So put it on y-axis, and just click rest of the things you will keep as it is. Okay. If you want to change, if you want to do any change, you can do it in the chart properties. So first of all, generate it, and you will get a chart. Okay, once you are done this, then double click on this particular chart, the option, if you will find that chart editor is will be generated. Okay, and that window will allow you to do some changes. So I want to fit a line here. Okay, can you change the scatter? Yeah, you can change it. Okay, you can change it by selecting markers and do that. That is possible. You can do a lot of things here. Okay, you can change the title and all. Okay, so that is possible. Okay, I have changed the size of the scatter dots. Okay, if you want to change axis, that is also possible. That if you want to fill border, then chart line, chart size भी बढ़ा सकते हो आप. That you can increase. Maintain aspect ratio click करोगे तो automatically you will find that the chart has increased. Okay, and the size will be size will increase, and automatically the changes will appear. You can even do you can write here, you can change the title if you want to. That is also possible. You can change the chart title here. Okay, so that is anything and everything is possible for this chart. Sufficient for builder. I want to show you that how where we can go for trend line. So trend line is here. Okay, see that add fit line at total. We use this line. Okay, and we are talking about linear only. So click on linear, and automatically you will find that line will appear. Once the line has appeared, you will find that you are able to you are getting this and plus 0.42x. So that is the equation. Okay, let us check this equation from analyze, regression, and linear. Instead of this, we have a before scores. So let us generate, and you will be able to find out that this is 47.744. This one. Okay, this score is 74. I should get same answer as that of your. Let us say we go back to your chart. Yeah. So 47.74 and 0.42. So round up करके 42 आया है. that is 417. So I get the same answer on the chart. So either you can use a chart method or regression method, you will get same answer. Okay, let us not spare time much time on this. We will go for this one is uh, factor analysis. So for factor analysis, what is the purpose of factor analysis? Factor analysis is carried out to reduce number of variables to certain groups. Okay, we call them as the latent variables. Now, what is the procedure of latent variables? Latent variables are nothing but these are the variables which cannot be directly observed from the respondent. Say, for example, I want to understand attitude of some respondent. Then attitude I cannot observe directly. Okay, I need some n number of observations I do or n number of variables that how one person behaves with other or how he behaves with his friend and so on. So I can rate his behavior on different variables, and altogether that 4-5 variables they talk about the attitude of that particular person. So if suppose if you want to do that analysis, then you do whenever you are preparing a questionnaire. In questionnaire you have to give a list of questions and list of variables. You try to convey certain factors or components. So what are these components shows? These components are telling you about uh, the reduction of observed variables into certain groups. Okay, so let us say that I have the variables. I'm calling and giving certain name to them. I just sorry. Okay, let's do that. And name of is available is also can use, and I will name them. I don't want to give any label to them. Okay, so these are the some 16, 20 variables I have observed. Okay, so input no. Let's say my data is on one is strongly agree, two is disagree, three is neither agree nor disagree, four is agree, and five is strongly agree. Okay. I will also tell you this is as a ordinal variable. You can use ordinal scale if you don't want this to be, so that is also possible. Decimals हमें नहीं चाहिए. Now copy the properties to other variables from same data set. Next, we want to copy it from variable 1 and copy to other variables. आप ये सारी प्रोसीजर पे ध्यान रखो because please check your screens because I have also logged in through two devices, so I am able to see my screen on other device. So variable label and rest all I will not change, missing value whatever it is, because variable label only I have to think of. Value labels I want to be replaced, custom attributes and all. So I will just click OK and OK. So I am getting that data. I have changed the properties of all other variables. Procedure of factor analysis, but before factor analysis, yesterday someone has asked me how to generate Cronbach alpha. So for Cronbach alpha, analyze, then reliability analysis, check where is scale. This is scale, and in scale you have reliability analysis. And then let us say that Cronbach alpha, when you will generate a Cronbach alpha, let us please see to that you are generating it for variables which are either defined on ordinal scale or interval or ratio scale. But do not include nominal type variables for Cronbach alpha. So number of items, आप क्वेश्चन वाइज भी उसको जनरेट कर सकते हो या अदरवाइज पूरे क्वेश्चनर के लिए भी आप निकाल सकते हो. ओके. Now item reliability analysis, you can think of that item wise summary if you want, scale, correlation, covariance and so on. Okay, but this much information is not required for questionnaire. So we just require a model analysis, and that is alpha. Okay, and there are some other statistics also, but nobody asks for other statistics nowadays. Everyone is asking for Cronbach alpha, so you can generate a Cronbach alpha. Alpha is default option, and just click on OK. Okay, so you will find that you will get Cronbach alpha. Any Cronbach alpha value which is greater than 0.70 is appreciated and considered as a better Cronbach or better instrument or best instrument for collection of the data. So this is how we generate Cronbach alpha, and this value has to be greater than 0.70. Okay, now Cronbach alpha in case of if suppose this n number of items are only 5 or 6. Okay, in that situation the Cronbach alpha, if it is greater than 5, 0.5, that will also do. That is also a best Cronbach alpha. Okay, but most of the time people do not want, people doesn't want this value to be less than 0.70. So that's why we the general aspect or general analysis, or on the basis of general observation, we say that this value has to be uh, more than 0.70. Now this is how we generate Cronbach alpha. Now we'll go for factor analysis. So factor analysis, analyze, then go to dimension reduction. Please follow, please check the procedure. Analyze, dimension reduction, then factor. Okay, and for factors you will select all those variables. 20 variables we have selected. Click on descriptive. The selection procedure is very essential. That if I want to say that I want to find out factor analysis only for male, then I can do that. I can do it for female also separately. So that is possible. But we don't want to do it by gender, male or female. So we'll go for descriptive, and in descriptive we don't bother about all. Initial solution is required. Okay, जो आपको SPSS टिक करके देता है, that is a required one. Okay, correlation matrix, if you are very good in factor analysis interpretation, then please you can click any of these. Okay, but I'm just talking about essential values. So it is initial value you should have, then KMO and Bartlett's test of sphericity value you should have. So these two values I will click, then continue. Extraction is principal component, and correlation matrix, if you do that, will do. Unrotated factor solution, we want to display, then this is Cree plot based on eigenvalues, or if suppose if you want to extract some fixed number of factors, then you can use say 3-4 factors, or otherwise based on eigenvalues. So based on eigenvalue is a preferred option. And maximum iterations for convergence. Sometimes if it doesn't converge, then you can increase this to 50. Okay, that means I have done extraction and I have changed the maximum iteration for convergence as 50. Okay, so it will rotate and then it will converge. Okay, the method which is based on variance, so Varimax method, you preferred we prefer to go for Varimax method. So click on Varimax, rotated solution as well. This is the required maximum iteration for this also, rotation ke liye. That is, let us say that I want to change it to 50. Okay, may not required, 50 rotations may not be required if you want to save this as a score. Okay, because most of the time people do not understand what to do after factor analysis, and they just end up with the explanation of they generate a factor and they don't do doesn't do anything. So after factor we have a confirmatory factor analysis, and you can go for structural equation modeling. Okay, so if you do structural equation modeling, so once you have done a factor analysis, and if you get good factors, then you can take it to confirmatory factor analysis, and then you can go for structural equation modeling. So in structural equation modeling, that means I can use this factor analysis for further calculation, or for as a prediction model also. That means whatever factors I have generated, let us understand, will not go for structural equation modeling, because SPSS do not provide an option for structural equation modeling. But there is a software called as AMOS, and it is by IBM SPSS only, which comes separately, and AMOS is there, AMOS. So AMOS works on this structural equation model. So continue. I don't want to save the result. Okay, and options, you will go to option. Then here I don't want to do anything. but I will use this suppress small coefficient, and let us suppress the coefficient with 0.5 के नीचे का स्कोर आप suppress करो. Suppress means they will not be visible. Okay, and let us execute. Okay. So commonality values, initial and extraction commonality value, this has to be greater than, all extraction values should be greater than 0.300. If it is greater than 0.300, then all variables are contributing. Otherwise, you can remove those variables from your analysis. Now, this is the second table, which is total variance explained. On the basis of eigenvalue, we have extracted. So you can think of eigenvalues. That eigenvalue score is 1.316 and next score is 0.986. So sometime in some of the literature, it is being said that if you choose 0.90 and above, that will also do for eigenvalue. But most of the literature says that you should choose 1.0 and above. So we are choosing first 5 factors on the basis of eigenvalue scores, and total variance explained by these 5 factors will be 62.455. That means 62% variance is explained by these 5 factors. Now, component matrix, you have this as a component matrix. So this initial component matrix, we don't bother about that, but we think of this particular matrix, that is rotated component matrix. Okay, and we can copy it, and we can discuss this rotated component matrix. So for a rotated component matrix, what does this matrix says? That this is 14. इसका ये बना दिया हमने. I hope that this is visible to you. Right? This is visible. Okay. Now, what does it say? That component 1 is of variable 6, 10, 11, 17, 18, and 19. So I can say that component 1 is, I can copy, we can read it very easily. That component 1. So we'll remove this, delete and shift cells up. Shift cells up. Okay, and this is component 1. Okay, then component 2 will be, we are not interested in the values, loadings. We are seeing that which are the variables which are contributing for this. Okay, so component 1 कौन से वेरिएबल से मिलके बना है? V6, V10, V11, V17, 18 and 19. आप इनके एक सिमिलर प्रॉपर्टीज को देख के इस कंपोनेंट को आप नाम दे सकते हो. से फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर मार्केटिंग का डेटा है तो मार्केटिंग में ब्रांड लॉयल्टी हो सकता है. आपने ब्रांड लॉयल्टी आपका एक फैक्टर है, तो आपने ब्रांडिंग पे बात किया है. So you will get all these components which is talking about brand loyalty, that I never change my brand. I always try to find out the brand which I'm using using regularly while going for purchasing. So that is all talking about brand, and I'm ready to pay a higher value to my if I'm getting the brand which I'm using. So that is talking about brand loyalty. So this type of questions you ask in your questionnaire, and then I can call this component as brand loyalty question. So let us say that this is loyalty. Okay, and then I can use this loyalty as a variable for calculation. How I can use? I can save. You can see that there's an option called as save my data. So component 1 का स्कोर आपको सेव करके मिलेगा, component 2 का सेव करके मिलेगा, component 3 का आपको सेव करके मिलेगा, and component 4, component 5 and all other component का भी आपको मिलेगा. So आपको 5 component पे फोकस करना है, तो 5 component का डेटा आपके पास सेव होके आएगा. So the option called as rotation and scores, you can save as variables. तो आप अगर सेव करते हो इन तीनों में से कोई भी रिग्रेशन मेथड इज प्रिफर्ड मेथड, so you will get the scores. So if I will continue, and if you can see that I executed it again, and 5 new variables got generated, factor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, and this can be used for further calculations. So factor 1, 2, 3, scores. So they are the factor scores or factor loading of each of the case, and this can be used for further calculation. That means I can use this factor for regression analysis. I want to find out that whether it is whether my spend depend on these 5 factors or not. So that I can do. So that's how we do factor analysis. But before winding up, I just want to talk about this KMO and Bartlett's test. KMO of sample adequacy, it should be greater than 0.05. It will tell me if it is less than 0.05, then sample is not adequate. If it is greater than 0.05, then we say that sample is adequate. And what about Bartlett's test of sphericity? It is same as that of your homogeneity test. It should be less than 0.05, and if it is less than 0.05, then we say that this Bartlett's test of sphericity or sphericity assumption is satisfied. Okay, so sphericity assumption means homogeneity of variance assumption is satisfied. Now this is all about your factor analysis. I will just session over to the organizer. I hope that I could justify in 1 hour, 1 hour and 10-15 minutes we have already spent. So if this requires actually factor analysis only requires 3-4 hours to understand. So it is over to Savita madam. If you have any question, if all of our participants have any question, please read the question.
I have a question, please.
Yes, sir, you can
Yes, sir.
ask.
Rajkumar sir,
Can
boliye.
I ask? Dr. Mule sir,
Yeah.
I'm very happy and very satisfied with all those, the way you have explained everything in a meticulous and the common man's understanding in that language.
Thank you, sir.
Very thanks to you. And my question is, first question is about the convex alpha.
Yeah.
Suppose I have a questionnaire. I have a questionnaire of say around 52 items, the statements, and those statements I have divided into, divided into the 7 components. So like I'm working on the leadership qualities, and then I generated 52 questions on 7 different qualities, leadership qualities, and then I collected the data. After that, I go for the reliability test. In that reliability test, while calculating the convex alpha, when I calculate it on the entire scale, on the 52 items, it is coming as 0.84, which is, I think, reliable. But when I calculate on individual components, that say about the 7 leadership qualities individually, like one component has 6 to 7 questions. So when I calculate as a subscales, then it is coming as 0.5, 0.58, 0.7, 0.68.
Right. That's why in my discussion I told that if this number of questions there is sub questions, if they are less than 10, okay, then we allow Cronbach alpha to be greater than 0.5, and that is also a good score.
That is acceptable, no, sir?
That is acceptable score. There is a literature which talks about this. You can find out some literature, so that because if you want to justify to the people that if it is acceptable, then the literature is available. If you search it on Google, you will get it. Okay,
sir.
Otherwise you can put a message to me. I will send you a literature on that.
Definitely, I'll put a message, sir.
This is one thing. And if you want to increase that Cronbach alpha, then it is suggesting you that you have to add a few more items in that question, in that sub questions, because Cronbach alpha increases with number of items. Okay, so जितने number of items उसमें बढ़ेंगे, उतना वो Cronbach alpha भी बढ़ता जाएगा इंस्ट्रूमेंट की रिलायबिलिटी. इसीलिए वो 52 पे आपका 80.84 आता है. लेकिन जब आपके 7 या 8 सब क्वेश्चंस होते हैं तो उसमें वो कम होता जाएगा. बट देयर इज द लिटरेचर व्हिच सेज दैट if you calculate a Cronbach alpha for 4 items, 5 items, or anything less than 10, then Cronbach alpha greater than 0.5 is accepted. लेकिन ये आपको जस्टिफाई करना पड़ता है, और सामने जो लोग हैं उनको और सामने जो लोग हैं उन्होंने भी वो एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए. So that is one issue. So if you want me to give a suggestion on this, I will suggest you that you go for a whole questionnaire Cronbach alpha.
Okay, sir. Whole questionnaire Cronbach alpha.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, one more. Now the next question is,
Yeah, please.
The components are predetermined. I mean, pre-decided components, and
Uh-huh.
when we rotate, I mean, when we go for again exploratory factor analysis, the what happens? Some questions go into different components. I mean,
Absolutely.
suppose one empathy as a quality I have determined, and I'm giving question number 1 to 7 for empathy. Whereas when I go for EFA, and then when I analyze some of the questions from the group dynamics also entering into the empathy. So,
Right, right.
should I rename again after the rotation? I mean,
Nahi, 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 nahi. You don't have to. Actually, sir, what is the problem?
uh,
That you have already done the
correct,
components for
correct.
your
Yes,
52 questions. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
as per statistical, as long as statistical analysis is concerned, there you don't
Sir.
require a factor analysis. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Factor analysis will be given to those data or those variables where this categorization is not done. Okay,
Not done.
and it is from the perspective of respondent. This
Okay,
particular
sir.
categorization is
Okay,
done.
sir.
So if you
Okay,
want
sir.
the another perspective of categorization, that is from the perspective of respondent, then you can go
Huh?
for
Huh?
a factor analysis.
Huh?
And if suppose if your some of the variables are going to some other component, then
Sir.
you can take them to the your original component. So that is
Okay,
on the factor analysis has that flexibility, that it is allowing researcher to do that.
okay,
Okay,
sir.
and
Okay.
if you want to go for find out the exact factor analysis, then go for
Huh.
confirmatory factor analysis or structural equation modeling. So
Okay,
don't
sir.
rely on exploratory factor analysis. Okay,
Okay.
whatever
CFA
we
is
talked
the
today, CFA will help you in this particular case. Okay, so
okay,
CFA will
sir.
allow you, or it will tell that you should remove this factor from this particular group, and you can add it into the other group. So you can do the
Right,
factor
sir.
confirmatory factor analysis.
Thank you, sir. And then
Yeah.
while doing the EFA exploratory factor analysis, should we remove those items which have value less than 0.5 and then go for
That is, या 0.5 से जो लेस है, आप अगर आप अगर ये पर्टिकुलर मेरा अगर प्रेजेंटेशन देखेंगे तो उसमें मैंने 0.5 से लेस वाले रिमूव नहीं किए, मैंने सेपरेट किए.
हाँ.
So I just have to think that every variable will be a part of some or the other component. Okay.
Okay.
And the highest loading will be considered highest loading for that variable. The respective component will be considered for that particular variables. आपको highest loading देखना है रो और कॉलम में.
हाँ. And then उसी को फाइनल करना है then.
उसी में फाइनल करना है उसको. Okay, so that is also possible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. So nice of you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. बोला ना.
Sir, thank you for your informative session. I want to ask one question, sir. If I want to study the significant influence of family support on psychological well-being of the parents of ID disabled, so here we have to do correlation, sir. Influence
What is
of
that
family,
impact of?
influence of family
नहीं, it is
support.
if it is,
I want to
if you want to talk about,
yes.
yeah,
Sir,
I got your question.
there is
Shall I
the
answer?
yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, if you have a category of the hypothesis as influence, okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
So influence, when you are talking about influence, then correlation is not sufficient. It is talking about regression analysis. So we should go for regression analysis rather than correlation, because correlation gives me association. But if you want to say that family support is influencing
Yes, sir.
the child's growth, then in
Yeah.
that situation the child growth will be dependent and family support will be independent variables, and you can go for regression analysis.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
So next question is, could you please explain the chi-square?
Chi-square, I think I have explained in my first session, but still I will go for. Okay, I want to find out, let us say, chi-square you can execute from two things, either by table method or another is descriptive then cross table. Okay, and then I can have rows in gender and age group in column, and statistics. You can have a number of statistics here. So chi-square is also one part of that. And these are the different frequency. As this frequency analysis was not a part of this discussion, so we have not entered in this particular discussion. But chi-square, and then continue. So there are n number of things which can be generated here. That Kendall's tau v, Kendall's tau c, so much d. And this is nominal by nominal data, ordinal by ordinal, then nominal by interval and kappa and all. Okay, but we'll just click on chi-square, continue. We just want sales observed. I don't want expected, so I'll keep observed only. Okay, if you want to have, if you can have percentage and all calculation here, and rest all you can keep as it is. So it is 95 asymptotically distributed, and just click on okay. Display clustered bar. यहाँ पे आपको clustered bar भी मिल सकते हैं. Okay, just click on display clustered bar. Okay, so I will get a clustered bar and chi-square analysis. So this is your chi-square. Okay, it's very simple. क्रॉस टेबल करके ऑप्शन है, एंड यू आर गेटिंग मेल में कितने एज का कौन सा बंदा है और कौन से एज ग्रुप में कौन सा कितने फीमेल बिलोंग करते हैं. सो अगेन आई विल एक्सप्लेन द प्रोसीजर. एनालाइज, देन डिस्क्रिप्टिव, क्रॉस टेबल, and just take a row variable and column variable, and then click on okay. You will get your answer. Is that fine? Next question.
Next question is, sir, please tell what to do in the Likert scale, whether to be use a scale or ordinal.
Likert is Likert scale data is actually ordinal scale data. Okay, but you can instead of Likert, if you scale it from 1 to 10, okay, and 1 being minimum and 10 being maximum, so your data become a scale data. So, but basically Likert is the ordinal scale data. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you are providing options like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that is a Likert scale data. Otherwise, if you are asking the respondent to rate in between 1 to 5, or 1 being minimum and 5 being maximum, then you are allowing him to be on continuous scale, and that can be considered as a scale data.
Next question is, sir, can you tell me the difference between R value and adjusted R value?
Just R square and adjusted R square. We R square and adjusted R square. It is थोड़ा सा. Okay. R square and adjusted R square is simply when we are talking about R square and adjusted R square is also coefficient of determination. लेकिन adjusted R square में कुछ degrees of freedom के साथ calculation करके adjust किया जाता है. So we prefer some adjusted R square. So if you want to find out exact difference between R square and adjusted R square, you can refer any book of statistics, because it is not time is not sufficient for that to explain what is R square and adjusted R square. But they are one and the same, and you choose the value of adjusted R square for discussion.
Next question is how to calculate intercomponent correlation of test in SPSS.
It is intercomponent correlation is, I think intercomponent correlation in factor analysis. If you see that in factor analysis you will get intercomponent correlation also. You're talking about from factor only, na? So factor and rotation scores options. 1 minute, I will tell you. In coefficient correlation matrix, so you can generate factor analysis, and this is coefficients. Continue extraction. Correlation matrix. So we generate correlation matrix here. Okay, let us see. And always intercomponent correlation matrix is always the identity matrix. Okay, because this is generated on the basis of here component 1 and component transformation matrix. So this is different. You can you can generate it in the same window. Is that fine?
Yes, sir. Next question, Mr. Ramesh wants to ask the question. Yes, sir, you can start.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. बोलो ना.
Sir, I have done regression analysis, and in my analysis, I got R and R square, and model also gets significant. But the problem is here, sir, I have taken dependent variable and predicted variables. So I got the value for the B value, beta value got negative sign, one of the variable that is independent variable, and the key value also got negative, but significant value also is more than 0.05. So how can I write the interpretation, sir? Here the beta value is the coefficient of particular independent variable.
Right. It indicates that negative value in the coefficient indicates that the contribution of that particular variable to explain dependent variable is negative. That means if you increase the value of that particular variable, the score of the dependent variable will decrease. Okay. And if it is a non-significant, then you can say, but that contribution is not significant. That means you can say that though it is negative. So it is talking about opposite relationship. That means if suppose say for x variable it is negative, then if I change in 1 unit change in x brings 1 unit change in y. If it is a
We
positive.
can say it have a inverse relationship, sir. Particular variable.
Absolutely.
But if it is insignificant, can we stress on the writing interpretation?
No, you did not have to write if it is not that much important, and if you have sufficient variables to explain your dependent variable which are significant, then you can ignore that discussion. But if that is a very important variable from the perspective of your discussion, then you have to comment on that.
Okay, sir. One more doubt here. How my guide and my external Viva examiners have asked in my Viva, how far your model is going to fit. So that is relevant to R and R square, sir?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is coefficient of determination. If the R square value, adjusted R square value is very good, that is say for example 0.7 and above.
What is the standard procedure to accept it is a acceptable model means the R value above 0.5, sir?
Above 0.5 will do, but if you want that it should be used for the purpose of predictions further. Okay. And if you have a strong data set, say for example sample size आपने अच्छे से calculate किया और उसके basis पे अगर model determine किया है, तो आपका value अगर 0.6 and above भी है तो भी accepted है. Okay. 0.5 and above R square is also a moderately acceptable level.
Sir, in case if R square and R value below 0.5, can we delete from our analysis?
No, we should not means you instead of deleting, we can say that there is a further scope of introducing some other independent variable for the analysis. So you can put it in the further scope of research that there may be other independent variable which may have impact on dependent variable. So we have to identify those independent variable and go for further analysis.
That may be the scope for the future research, I think so.
Yeah. Future research. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So next request is there. Suja ma'am is requesting you to repeat the steps to calculation of Cronbach alpha.
Yeah, I will do that again. I think my screen is visible. So it's analyze, then scale, reliability, and bring all those items or variables. SPSS is calling it as items. So I've selected all those variables for which I want to calculate Cronbach alpha and bring them in items and just select alpha. Rest all we don't have to do, and just click OK. It's very simple procedure. You will get a Cronbach alpha 0.848. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. The next question is by Rajkumar, sir. So this is Rajkumar and discuss with you about the EFA and Cronbach alpha. I need the literature support where I can quote.
I will send. If suppose ask him to message me, or otherwise I will share with you. You can share it.
I will, sir. I'll message, sir. I'll take a number from Savita ma'am. I'll do that.
Absolutely.
Sir, if I'll forward your number on the WhatsApp group, will it be fine?
Yeah, it will be fine. Only I WhatsApp पे थोड़ा सा late response करता हूँ, but I will respond you. Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
sir. So I'll share your number on both the WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Next
sir.
So,
question is by Nikita Jha. There is a
mhm.
significant influence on various dimensions of psychological well-being among the parents of ID children with respect to the father and mother. Here, which test we can do, sir?
एक minute. This is she is
7
talking
minutes
about there is a
ago, she has asked.
yeah. So I answered her question that there is a significant influence on various dimensions of psychological well-being among parents of ID children with respect to father and mother. Here, which test? I suggested her test. I answered that question already. I answered that question.
Okay, sir. Okay, so this was the only last question. Thank you so much for this outstanding session. This
Yeah, thank
last
you.
3 days was really amazing for us because majority of us are from the non-statistics background and we have understood so many things regarding this SPSS. Actually, learning this SPSS on the online platform, it's really a difficult thing, but you have made this easy for us and we are right now learn so many things about the SPSS, and with the help of your this 3 valuable sessions we can work on the SPSS confidently. So thank you so
Yeah,
much on behalf
thank
of
you, ma'am.
all the organizers and all the participants, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Shall I wind up myself?
Yes, sir.
Shall I
Yes,
leave?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes.
Yeah.
I request all the participants to leave the meeting. Thanks all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rajkumar. Thank you.
Thanks.